Okay, sir. Good evening, everyone. It's my honor and privilege to introduce today's esteemed resource person for the faculty development program, Dr. Ajay B. Gadecha, a distinguished academician and exemplary contributor to the field of computer science and engineering. Dr. Gadecha currently serves as the Associate Professor and Head of the Department of Artificial Intelligence and Data Science at P.R. Port Patil College of Engineering and Management, Amravati. With an impressive teaching and experience spanning 15 years, he has been instrumental in fostering academic excellence and innovation. Dr. Gadecha's academic journey is marked by remarkable achievements, including a PhD in computer science and engineering, with a specialization of video summarization, complemented by a post-PhD pilot research project in Vietnam. He has also been awarded an honorary Doctor of Science by Dana Brain Health Institute and Iranian Neuroscience Society. A consistent academic achiever, he was a university topper during both his master's and bachelor's programs. His professional portfolio is equally impressive, with over 80 research papers published in esteemed international journals and conferences. He holds 27 patents, including 2 international patents and 15 copyrights, and serves as an active member of the Board of Studies at St. Gad J. Baba Amrati University and Julal Institute of Technology, Nagpur. Dr. Gadecha is also a keynote speaker, having delivered more than 50 lectures at various international conferences, symposiums, and faculty development programs. His expertise has also been recognized as a jury member for several prestigious global events. For his outstanding contribution to research and innovation, Dr. Gadecha has received numerous awards, including Young Scientist of the Year Award in 2020, Best Young Researcher Award in 2017, Research Excellence Award in 2024. In addition to his academic excellence, Dr. Gadecha is a certified Hawaii academic instructor for artificial intelligence, highlighting his dedication to staying at the cutting edge of emerging technologies. We are truly privileged to have such a distinguished personality with us today. His wealth of expertise, unwavering dedication, and passion for academic innovation stands out as a pioneer in advancing artificial intelligence. Let us all extend a warm welcome to Dr. Ajay B. Gadecha. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot for your valuable words.
Thank you, sir.
Should I start?
Yes, sir.
Sir, you can start.
Sure, ma'am. Thanks a lot for your special Sri Nagesh, sir. First and foremost, at the outset, I congratulate the entire team for organizing the ATAL online 6 days faculty development program by the Department of Computer Science on introduction to generative AI model and application. It's starting from 20th of January to the last, which we have 25th of January. Exactly, sir has winded up on 25th as Republic Day is scheduled on 26th of January. So sir has rightly being adjusted their schedule. Thanks to the organizing team for inviting me for this ATAL FDP program. The title of my today's talk is based on the generative AI in healthcare sector or healthcare application. As we know that in today's area, we are bounding towards the artificial intelligence, machine learning, and various algorithmic or visualization tools of data science. But nevertheless, no area is being stimulated, or no area is being rest where the AI is not gonna used. The ai is the ai pursuance is in all respective areas. It may be a healthcare industry, it may be a medical imaging, it may be a drug industry, it may be agriculture sector or education. We know the education, starting from 1.0, nowadays a 4.0 or 5.0 is taken into the consideration. So in all areas, the artificial intelligence is taken into the consideration. Now, by taking this faculty development program, our motive is to learn how these sort of application is going to be utilized for our autonomy purposes, or for put them into a curriculum, so that the student will be aware how these things are being carried out. So that's why the motive, the objective, the aim is to get rid of all the generative content or agent AI content into the healthcare industry. And by virtue of it, we can give them a right platform for our student in terms of, when they are working in the medical imaging, when they are working in the healthcare areas, or when our student is working into multidisciplinary approach. So we're going to start this small video. I can share with you how the AI is going to be revolutionize the entire things. I can show you a small video where you can get. Give me a moment. I can share the video where you can get the information. I hope that my screen is visible. Hello, my screen is visible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. It's visible.
Okay, we'll start the video.
Introducing Brain Bridge, the world's first revolutionary concept for a head transplant machine, which uses state-of-the-art robotics and artificial intelligence to conduct complete head and face transplantation procedures, ensuring smooth outcomes and faster recoveries. Because head transplants require high speed, precision, and efficiency, BrainBridge utilizes advanced high-speed, high-precision robotic systems to speed up the process, eliminate human error, prevent brain cell degradation, and ensure seamless compatibility. The head transplant procedure involves removing a person's entire head containing the brain from their current diseased body and attaching it to the body of a healthy, young, brain-dead donor. Head transplants could provide individuals with severe medical conditions, terminal paralysis, spinal cord injuries, or neurodegenerative diseases, the opportunity to have a fully functional body while preserving their consciousness, memories, and cognitive abilities. The neurons are the longest lasting functional cells in the human body. And according to our estimates, the brain is capable of lasting several hundred years, provided that the rest of the body remains young. The Brain Bridge concept involves the use of the integrated robotics platform comprised of the two autonomous surgical robots, designed to perform simultaneous surgeries on two bodies, side by side, within a single. The complete robotization of the process allows for the surgery to be performed in an environment with varying temperature and pressure. The procedure begins by preparing the donor and recipient bodies. The donor is a brain-dead patient who has a functional body with vital organs in good condition, while the recipient is the patient whose head will be
This
transplanted
will
onto the
explain
new
how
body.
the things is going on in
General
terms of
anesthesia
generative
is
AI.
administered to both the recipient and the donor. Both patients undergo tracheotomy, with a tube inserted into the trachea to provide respiratory support and facilitate mechanical ventilation. Our proprietary artificial plasma solution is administered to both the recipient and the donor. This solution is designed to keep the brain and body oxygenated, prevent clotting, and allow for safe operation at low temperatures. The recipient's head and the donor body are cooled to approximately 5 degrees Celsius to reduce potential brain damage during the detachment. Guided by advanced real-time molecular level imaging systems, BrainBridge carefully separates the heads from the two bodies with the help of a specialized surgical technique that preserves the spinal cord and key blood vessels. Deep incisions are carefully made around the neck to expose the necessary structures, including the carotid and vertebral arteries, jugular veins, and spine. With the help of specialized AI algorithms, BrainBridge tracks both muscles and nerves during surgery to facilitate seamless reattachment. Next, incisions are made in trachea, esophagus, veins, and arteries. The blood is then completely drained from the recipient's head to prevent clotting. The recipient's head is then positioned adjacent to the donated body ECMO platform. BrainBridge immediately connects the detached head to the circulatory system of the donor body, which helps maintain blood flow during the rest of the procedure. It also re-warms the recipient's head and provides it with oxygenated blood. With the help of its ultra-precision surgical instruments, BrainBridge begins reconnecting the spinal cord, esophagus, trachea, nerves, blood vessels, and other tissues. This step facilitates communication between the brain and the new body. The machine utilizes microsurgery techniques and delicate microscopic adjustments to ensure the proper alignment and fusion of the spinal cord and other tissues. To help reconnect the severed neurons, BrainBridge uses a proprietary chemical adhesive, polyethylene glycol, which is applied locally to the spine at the
This is a small idea or a video behind the concept. Going back to my presentation, where I can initiate. So we are witnessing, we have saw the hair plantation video or a hair plantation video, how the AI is going to be revolutionized probably in probably in 1 decade or in 15 years. You will find out these sort of technologies has to be imparted into the medical imaging system. Not only that, the artificial neural network and the convolutional neural network, or maybe a recurrent neural network RNN, or machine learning algorithms are well trained to prepare a sort of model to work on an appropriate imaging system. The hair transplant video which we have shown or we are witnessing on the screen, that clear gives an idea about how the AI or generative AI is going to be revolutionize the entire healthcare industry. We are a backbone. A teacher or a professor is a responsible person to get the actual idea about how the things are being useful, what are the different algorithms are going to be used, how the challenges has to be meticulously used or meticulously be approached. The reason behind it, unless and until what are the spectacular points are there, we are not going to discuss. That creates a very big challenge for us. Even though we have different AI tools for the healthcare, before moving to these sort of AI healthcare tools, I request to participant, could in 2024, who got the Nobel Prize for physics? Anyone? Can anybody tell me who got the Nobel Prize for the physics in 2024? I hope my
Jeffrey
voice is
Hinton,
audible.
Jeffrey Hinton and Hopfield.
Great, great, excellent, excellent. I appreciate, sir. Appreciate. The Clinton and the Hopfield are AI engineers who have already given the idea in 1960s, way behind 1950s or 60s. They have come up with the idea of artificial neural theory. Nowadays, we can call it as a supervised learning, or maybe unsupervised learning or reinforcement learning. So John Hopfield will gives us the idea of artificial intelligence along with the artificial neural network in 1960s. and they got the Nobel Prize in 2024 because of their revolutionized the machine learning algorithms, which we are nowadays, learning in terms of KNN, descent gradient, KNN, and etc. things. So these are the various, AI tools which we are going to be used in day-to-day life to apply the generative AI mechanism on some realistic data. Maybe you're getting in data from the internet or GitHub or any, a tool or any website through which you can collect the data and try to optimize it or clean it and perform in various tasks on that data. The data, task could be anything like cleaning up of a data, wrangling up of a data, and then you are performing an EDA process to to perform a very well mannered of situations or very well manner of processing the model so that we get some insightful insights about the various mechanisms. So these are the various AI tools where we can get the full of information related to the AI and patient-centric data. First one is AI.MD. It's very simple and direct mechanism. You can upload the data set and try to get some meaningful insights about that by virtue of putting in visualization and collecting the data, and after that doing some observations, and on that observations you are doing some prediction. Ultimately, all the algorithms like machine learning, data science, that leads to an prediction. As a AI engineer, if you are performing and realistic data and do the prediction for the doctors or for nurses, so they will be come up with realistic data. So engineer come up with the realistic data and produce, and that data has to be given to the doctors, and doctor are doing the analysis, and then they are approaching towards the prescriptions. In a similar way, another example we have called Wellspring.ai that evokes the idea of health and intelligence. And one of the best example I observe onto the internet, that is synthesia.io/post generative AI examples, where you can get the huge number of examples how this generative AI will be taken care in terms of various fields of healthcare industry. Coming to the introductory part of artificial intelligence or generative AI in healthcare, we know that AI has contributed a lot and it will be contributing into the coming years as well. Probably by 2030, the economy will be contributing AI is 15.7 trillions, maybe it more. Sorry, pardon, sorry. So artificial intelligence will contribute the 15.7 trillions to the world by 2030. Maybe it more. The reason behind it, the more number of powerful algorithms which we have, like TensorFlow, PyTorch, various libraries which we have that can come up with the huge sort of analysis and generates and beautiful result in terms of visualization. We know that Google is trying to achieve and these sort of heights by producing a new quantum computing into the AI in terms of healthcare as well, and that microchip is called as a velo. That velo chip is trying to produce and results within the fractions, millions of computation has to be performed and try to get the result within fractions of second, which human can takes more time. In a similar way, the greatest impact will be field of healthcare, and maybe in terms of agriculture side or in pharmaceutical industries as well, so that the healthcare is getting more importance and the AI will be more advanced as well due to the various algorithms came into the existence. The guys, we know that being as a professor, we have to be collect those data and try to put in terms of a systematic approach so that we get some rid of the data and try to produce some enormous results in front of students. Even though not only that, we are witnessing to the various medical imaging systems or various medical primarily diseases, just like a paralysis, a neuron disease, or leukemia, brain tumor. Our researchers are trying to put a more highlight on that point, but the more emphasized point is how we capture those sort of in terms of AI and generative AI. How this AI is different from a traditional approach. We know that AI technology in terms of growing in terms of their rapid pace and well-defined output to the end user as well. But the machine learning algorithms or data science prediction theory that we are going to witnessing like EDA processes, they are completely changing the overall system by putting in complex structure and generating the various beautiful numerous results in terms of pattern, their behavior. They're creating their own logic behind it by reducing the number of margin of error or thresholding value, putting an extra resources to generate and sort of a result that makes sense to testing parameters. What are the reasons behind the sudden growth of AI in healthcare industry? We know that we have a huge amount of data, a high volume of medical data which we are collecting every minute. We know that in a single minute we are probably come up with the huge amount of terabytes of data is collecting onto the internet. So by selecting an appropriate data, doing an engineering of that data engineering, and producing a result, it's a beautiful job at the back end or maybe at the outside. This job has producing and good researcher as well as the innovative thinkers as well. As you are producing an innovative thinking behind this generative AI concept, you come to know that how to manage the entire data and producing algorithmic study and generating the result. That is the backbone of our actual AI study. By improving an healthcare sector, by producing, or maybe once the availability of a data will be there, how this AI technologies will learn themselves and generating the result by working onto a trained model. Ultimately, by collecting those sort of data, it's important to read the pattern of a data analogy. The data is belonging to categorical or non-categorical, a textual data, a mathematical data, what exactly the data is going to be speak. As you understand the analogy of a data, then you can move ahead by producing or generating a model. The model is going to be trained in such a way that whatever the prediction which we are observing, that is comes out to be or not, then the testing and the prediction phase has to be happened and final result will be came out of it. So huge amount of data is going to be gathered. Our target is to generate and use an algorithms, AI algorithms or data science algorithms or machine learning algorithms to channelize this data and try to generating and beautiful results out of it. Second reason which we have, that's called development of complex algorithm. So we know that sudden growth of AI in the healthcare industry is capable of managing the entire data sets. The reason behind it, machine learning algorithm. In order to process and analyze the actual amount of a data, we know that we requires an complex algorithm as well. We could not call it as a complex algorithm, but we can call it as an algorithm which can handle our data very carefully and generating, not only generating the results, but can producing the results by predicting and testing the entire pinpoint of data set. So in order to process and analyze the data of these sort of dimensions, the machine learning as well as the deep learning neural network are also producing and good results. But we have an CNN, RNN, and the machine learning algorithms which involve into the data and try to get the rid of those data and snatching or fetching the appropriate values which we require for the further improvement of healthcare industry. How this growth of AI is going to be rapidly going into at the higher level. So AI algorithm behave differently in two ways. First way is algorithms are literal and the algorithms are black boxes. Like if you are talking about in two analogies that how the AI algorithm behave differently in terms of differently from the humans, then it comes around in two phases. First is algorithms are literals and second is algorithms are black boxes. So if you set a goal, the algorithm can't adjust itself and only understand what is being told explicitly. In another way, we have a black boxes theory that the algorithm can predict extremely precises. In the second approach, every researcher or a scientist or a professor is trying to picking up the second analogy. This second analogy is very important. The reason behind it, all the machine learning algorithms are concentrating on these factors only. This is second approach is very important. We know that as we are implementing the torque or TensorFlow, so we are very much conscious about our results. If you are getting or if you are producing our good results in terms of healthcare industry, so we will be rewarded with, as John Hopfield reward with the Nobel Prize. In a similar way, if you are working with some different industries and generating a numerous results based on any data set, maybe provided by the WHO, or it may be provided by any healthcare industry. So you will be rewarded with beautiful sort of results that came up with the industry in terms of AI or in terms of healthcare or agriculture, etc. What are the different current research is being going on in terms of generative AI or agenting AI in different fields as well. So various specialties in machine has to be shown in increasing radiology, imaging, disease diagnosis, telehealthcare, and so on. And apart from that, we have other branches as well, or other sector as well. So another sector is called a neurophysics system, where the neurons are being taken care of entire things and generating the very outside results. And the Iranian healthcare neurology system has generated a wonderful result in neuron psychological effect theory. Another is another area where we can are trying to get the result, that is a paralyzed situation where the patients is trying to put a different scene to check it out the various sort of results and generating some predictions. Definitely the solution, ultimate solution, has to be provided by the doctor, but we can at least predict and try to save the lives of individual by putting an extra energy or extra logic for training of our model. How this sort of analogies has to be improved or implemented, let's talk on first point number one, that's called as a radiology, how it is being implemented. We know that we are trying to put them into a MTech project or BTech project for the theory of X-ray, different X-ray machines or X-ray reports or imaging sort of processing. Earlier it was generally called as image processing phase, where we are trying to capture the feature extraction and producing the result by putting an algorithm of a feature extraction or any analysis, sentiment analysis into it, and try to get some picture out of it in terms of gray areas or grayscale terminology. But here, if you are putting an AI algorithm into it, maybe RNN or CNN, so to ability of this to interpret the image with its radiology effect, that may add clinical for detecting a minute into a change in metadata. And this particular study of Stanford University creates an algorithm that detects the pneumonia at the specific threshold value of F1 matrix. Now, F1 matrix, it could be accuracy or a recall ratio that radiologist has to be involved into it at the particular trial and generating the various result out of it. These are some of the pictures I observed at the study of Stanford University, and they have calculated the various metrics. Like you can saw here, the accuracy, recall, all these factors has been they have observed by putting an extra algorithm and generating the result, so that they are trying to capitalize the information of a doctor with the algorithm, how much percentage they are matching. Unless and until if directly we are implementing these sort of analogies into the healthcare industry, ultimately this is the biggest one. And the saving up of a life of any individual, it's create a very a challenging task, we can call it as. So they are first analyzing the entire data sets and capturing the every minute parameter and study of an algorithm and what sort of results the algorithm has to be generated. They are closely monitoring every phase of a data and try to generate an beautiful result out of it. Another example or another theory which we have called a section where we can jump onto it, called imaging sector. Here you can find the current research is being trained on. Then first we have discussed called radiology, second is called imaging. How this imaging phase has to be revolutionize the entire system of artificial intelligence in terms of healthcare industry. Imaging, it is use of various techniques to generate the structure of an image, where we can part of an our system. uh, so this I show you one example through which you can get how the data set is going to be capitalized in every minute. Give me a minute, I can show you one of the beautiful website where you can collect the data for your students. Yes, if you go on to this website called thispersondoesnotexist.com, here you can get the various face recognition images. By just refreshing the page every time, you can get the various number of images you can collect it as a repository for your project. One of the best thing out of it, you can find out on this website, this person does not exist. These all faces are being trained, very well trained, with the recurrent neural network algorithm, machine learning algorithm, to produce and different sort of faces, so that the feature extraction will be done as per the requirement of a user. If you go on to this website, you can check it out there directly. These sort of projects is been built through RNN, and various researcher of AI is trying to get these sort of directories or data set directly from the internet, and generating the various results by comparing the reports, what will be the reports doctor has been generated, they're comparing with them and try to get some more insightful story about it. Because we know that ultimately we need a data set to train our model, and once you have a data set and you are trying to training up of a data, then what will be the results which you are getting in terms of maybe f1 ratio or recall ratio or confusion matrix or etc things, what will be the parameters which you are choosing for the result analysis, ultimately data set producing a very good result. So you need a data set through which you can generate your whole insightful story, and you are producing and good results out of it. So this website is very useful while you are working in medical imaging or any healthcare industry. Another we have called disease diagnosis. Various sort of disease you can diagnose with the help of this generative AI mechanism. It may be paralysis, it may be a brain tumor, it may be a leukemia, and there are many other diseases as well. Some of them are highlighted as well, called diabetic, then cardiovascular disease, which both top 10 cause of death worldwide. Has been basis a lot of research is been going on, and try to get more results on the same field as well. Medical imaging and diagnosis is powered by the AI, so witnessing the more than 40 percentage of growth to surpass 2.5 billion in US dollars by 2024. That was found in the global market insights actually as well. Another application where the generative AI is going to be used called telehealth. Nowadays, it is one of the fabulous idea. The doctor has come up with the online mode. You can ask them any query. They will resolve your queries. But at the end, they are also suggesting you please contact with your doctor and try to get some information out of it, because this machine is generating maybe 90% results, so 10% you have to take advice and then you can move ahead. Maybe nowadays our wearable devices may allow for the constant monitoring of a patient, and also being useful for allowing the ability to notice the changes that may less distinguished by the human. So majority of the work is trying to put them an accurate decisions ultimately, and producing the good result in terms of various AI industries. We are witnessing in the COVID situation, the hospital top AI managing with the corona outbreak with AI, generative AI mechanism. The large healthcare sector are turning to be artificial intelligence, monitoring the patients, procuring the patients, giving the good servicing to the patients, and the attempt to contain the a spread of novel coronavirus. We are witnessing with this COVID-19, and the entire system has to be shifted to physical to digital mode, and through which the algorithms they have used the completely AI and machine learning algorithms to detect an actual outreach, how it is going to be happen, and what are the basic foundation of these patients would be. So even though come up with those studies with case studies to try to finding out the actual rid of the algorithms and then generating the results, so the result has to be matched up with the reports ultimately, unless or until if you're not going to match with it, it's producing a wrong sort of a data as well. How the AI plays a role into the healthcare. What are the pros and cons will be there. We'll discuss one by one. Different pros are there, like it will producing and better data-driven decisions as far as the AI is concerned. But another part, another a coin having in two sides. So some cons are there. It will be cons are regarding the privacy and security as well. So privacy and security, another approach is introduced into the market called blockchain. The patient data has to be secured very well onto the internet by putting an extra thought in terms of internet, in terms of security, in terms of network. Extra things has to be happened and producing and good results. Another prawns we have called increases the disease diagnosis efficiency by putting in extra parameters called F1 score, recall ratio, confusion matrix, and so on. The cons will be the lack of curated healthcare data. So these sort of prawns has to be observed on the various data sets. Unless and until if you are putting in wrong data into it, it generates a wrong results. Treatment time cut off in half. Absolutely, the time which doctor has to be there in the hospital reaching to the patient at that particular time of frame, AI will giving you results in faster way. As we have discussed, Google has come up with computing, it's quantum computing. The project name is Velo. So they will be generating the results within fraction of a time where the human can take more than that of the expected results. What are the cons which we have? That high initial capital investment will be there. Integration of information, then reduces the unnecessary hospital visits, create the time saving administrative duties. These are the various pros we have. Another side, the cons, it's lack of interoperability, then reluctance from the staff to embrace AI. These are the various several pros and cons that will be there. Here the debate has been going on, various universities is trying to putting an extra effort that whether this uh, robot has been replaced by the doctor. The answer is no, absolutely not. In the future, robot is cannot be replaced by the doctor, but the doctor is taking a help of those robots by putting an accurate data accuracy and generating the various beautiful results into the coming future. One of the case study I observed, it's CPPE, that stands for a medical personal proactive equipment data set. One of the WHO case study, it consisting of various features like the CPP5, the data set which I observe and choose to run on the Google Colab. So CPP5 dataset consisting of approximately 4.6 bounding boxes, which annotate the every image, making it a quality dataset. An original image take care of real-time examples and easy to develop an environment as well. I show you the real-time example through Google Colab, a real-time approach through which you can understand how these things will be shared through generative AI. I observe some of the data set I picked upon called CPPE. It's one of the finest data set to capture the various results out of it. I already taken the help of this and executed this real-time example. You can saw over here the data set is uploaded and it is being tried to capitalize the information. Nothing will be there like that data set consisting of various features like image ID, images, width, height, and object. So this is a particular data set. I show you. I understand. I give you the more insightful story about this. Give me a moment. Here I already run this particular data set. You can saw CPP5. If I execute this data set, you will get this information. So it's an algorithm through which we can capitalize the information that how the human is trying to use wear a mask or a PPE kit for coronavirus. Overall, the human is being covered so that any virus could not be attacked to a human body. This data set is completely revolutionized the entire WHO entire data set. The reason behind it, this data set is consisting of 5900 rows where the various information is being capitalized. And here if you saw the image, it will create or identify an object two section. First section, whether the mask has been weared by a humankind or not, whether it is a man or a woman, it's forget about the things, but they can identify a mask whether it is being weared in a proper way or not, or it is complete body is being covered or not. So these two things has to be channelized, and if you have not been prepared well, if you not wear a mask or your PPE kit, it is being detected immediately, and the message has been thrown on the patient number. Try to get those patient out of the hospital, and try to put them give them a mask or a PPE kit so that it will save a life of others as well. So this is a real-time example. I try to run it and try to capitalize this, through which we can get some insightful story how this algorithm is going to be used. So this data set which I collected from WHO, it's 4.6 probably bounding boxes which we have, and annotation towards the image and making with the quality data sets. Original images are taken from the real life example and easy to develop the real time application through which. This is the result which I talking about. If you saw over here, it basically trying to put two remarkable shows over here. This is a cover all kind of assignment or a text which we have observed, and another, that is a mask. It is being weared by an individual or not. But you can saw over here a person is taking a PPE kit in their hand, and the box is being not observed, so this is not clearly being pictured. The algorithm, sometimes the algorithm is trying to be getting an information, like the algorithm is putting an effort, but it's being failed for 0.01 percentage as well. It's maybe 99%. So here the person is wearing a mask but in a proper way, so it could not be come up with the box, but the algorithm is working significantly with 99 percentage, and it's generating the result in boxes. Now the another approach is very important here. The approach which is to identify the overview of a generative AI models. What are the different model as being used to train a data set and generate the results? So there are three different AI model is being used to train the data and produce the result. First is called GAN, that is Generative Adversarial Network. It consisting of working onto the neural network against input layer, hidden layer, and the output layer, and synthesize of a data. It will discriminate the input with the output, and in between that hidden layers will be occupy. The hidden layer will be actually generating the results in high quality realistic output. Another approach or a model we have called variational autoencoders. This is very much important because artificial intelligence and the neural network is directly jump onto this. VAE stands for variational autoencoders. It observe the Z value, that is sample latent vector. This is a sample where we can and compress the low dimensional data and producing the result. We know that uh, ANN or a neural network is divided into total three layers, which we have collected. The first is called input layer, then we have hidden layer, and finally we have called output layer. So these are the three layers generally we get taken care by the ANN. So VAE is observing first the threshold value, and after observing the threshold value, they are capitalizing the information and distribution of a model in flexible way. You need to worry about, though it been compressing the actual data, but it will be synchronizing the entire data set in a mathematical model called probabilistic encoder, and generating the good results. Another approach called GPT, that's transformers. We are witnessing about the chat GPT, or maybe some of the others, like we have Gemini, we have AI tools to process the data and synthesize the actual results. What are the different applications of generative AI in healthcare? So these are the four applications I observe. Personalized treatment. Nowadays,
Happy birthday, sister.
telemedicine, a telemedicine or a personalized treatment is producing a very fabulous result in healthcare industry. So this will be a AI which can collect and observe the patient centric data and put them into the various therapies of meditation, lifestyle change, or etc. So the AI is not going to procure you ad immediately, but the AI will change you the system where, as we have discussed the various cons of it, where the patient is relaxing by taking the help of AI. The time will be procured very easily, the time will be taken very smartly, and generating the actual advantageous point where the patient is try to put them into comfortable zone. Next we have called drug discovery. The generative AI is also being model has been trained and accelerate the new molecule design or predicting their potential therapeutic effect so that it will be come up with the new results. Clinical decision support, that is it will be assisting to inform the decisions, generating the insightful story about the clinical data. And medical imaging, that's called imaging system in generative AI, which perfectly working on x-rays, MRI scans to detect the anomalies and the accurate results as well. Generating this systematic medical data, how this algorithm is going to be used, I tell you the various AI tools where these sort of analogies has been done very significant job into it. So these are the various tools for synthesize the data generation. Very first we have called demotize. It will useful for the medical data or realistic data to produce and articulation results in terms of accurate data sets. Next, we have called mostly.ai, then synthesize, then hazy, sogety. Another we have called Gretel, Vedia, then render.ai. Render.ai is producing a nice results. Then OneView and MD clone. So these are the various AI tools where you can use your algorithm, train a model, comprising the patient privacies, synthesize the data for the robust model development and testing. Personal treatment recommendations, we know that in terms of for providing an diverse or tailored therapist or improving the outcome risk effortlessly, we are trying to use the AI by precisely medicine that adopts the individual changing aspects. We know that ultimately, if you are putting an extra effort to generate an algorithm for AI centric machines only, so the patient will be rely on the machine itself. So what will be the use of those doctors or nurses who are continuously working 24 by 7 into the hospital? So they will be taking the help of those technology or recent trends to get the more insightful stories about the data. Next, we have called accelerating the drug discovery and development. You can find out the pharmaceutical industries are putting in more effort for generating an excellent result in terms of drug discovery or industries. So this generative AI is designing novel drug molecules to simulate the data, targeting the pharmaceutical properties and generating the most promising results in terms of discovery of a drug is concerned. Enhancing the patient engagement and education, this is the more important that need to be discussed in terms of education 4.0 or 5.0 is concerned. First is personalized engagement. Generative AI can create the personalized education content tailored to each patient, uniquely being identified and generating the learning styles. AI powered chatbots. So we know that this 24 by 7 support has to be provided by this AI chatbot. You can ask to your chatbot for your any medical diagnosis system through AI. AI is producing and good results for your patient history and producing and privacy and security as well. Visualizing the health data. Here the visualization tool is being used through AI via better understanding of medical data and treatment plans as well. Ethical consideration and the regulatory framework. We know that the consideration of ethical mode is more important as far as the data of patient centric is concerned. Here, four parameters has to playing a significant role called ensuring the privacy and security of patient data, promoting promoting the transparency, mitigating the bias, and regulatory oversights. Very first, we have called regulatory the override or oversights. The governments and the different healthcare industries or agencies is trying to putting a more effort for getting and deployment of generative AI in medical setting, because maybe if you are putting this data free onto any websites or any cloud, so it can be stolen and the privacy of a patient will be no more being longer. So the government agencies are trying to putting a more effort for come up with the regulatory, maybe Ayushman Bharat and different sort of ministries is trying to capitalize and try to put them into their own stuff. Then mitigating the bias, that means for the harmful biases present in the training data. Maybe it's a rigorous, sort of a testing and a validation points where we can observe the various therapies and trying to convert them into meaningful data and getting a result in terms of various analogies. Then promoting the transparency. For transparency, we need an algorithm. Once the algorithm has been prepared, you have to put them into the data set so that the AI-driven insights has to be come up with the beautiful visualization. And finally, we have called ensuring the privacy and security. Then the robust framework has to be designed through blockchain or CN networks, computer networks algorithms, so that it will be useful for unauthorized or misuse access. What you can observe as far as the future of generative AI in the healthcare is concerned. As far as the future of artificial intelligence in the healthcare industry, I can observe the innovation in the natural processing language, computer vision, synthesize the data generation, increasing the sophisticated clinical decision supports, personalized treatment planning, accelerating the drug discovery, and AI is going to be put up with the patient care and different R&D sectors of a healthcare to revolutionize the entire system of healthcare industry. Unless and until if we are not prominently working on to the actual amount of algorithms which we have, we are not generating the results which we are expecting into the future, maybe 2030 or 2047. With the results which we are expecting in the healthcare industry, we are not getting it in the right way. So the future of generative AI is coming up within the 5 to 10 years, and you can observe the artificial intelligence has matched up with the augmented and virtual reality to boom or generating the huge sort of results in upcoming days as well. So this is from my side the core overview of generative AI as far as the mix-up approach by putting in a small effort and presenting in front of you. So thank you once again for giving me the opportunity to discuss my views over this online ATAL FDP on generative AI and healthcare industry and applications. Thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful time. If you have any sort of a query, I can answer those.
Participants can ask questions in the chat or directly unmute themselves and ask. Any questions from the participants? Sir, any research idea, basic level, those who are starting in medical domain, any starting material or research domains which they can pursue? Research scholars are also there in this workshop. Hello, Ajay sir, any research directions for PG scholars or PhD scholars?
Hello, sir. Could you please repeat the question?
Any research directions in medical domain,
Yeah,
basic
sure.
level to middle level?
Sure.
Only basic.
Just give me a moment. I'm typing into the chat box. So this is one of the website I type into the website into the chat box. This person does not exist. Actually, does not exist. Sorry. Just a moment.
Okay, sir.
Now website I type onto the chat box. The research direction. First, you can start your research in Imagine Healthcare. Second, just I submitted my project to DST, that is brain tumor. Another approach you can find called leukemia disease. It's a blood cancer. Huge number of patients are dying through this disease called blood cancer called leukemia. So these are the three areas where you can work more significantly by putting an artificial intelligence algorithm or generative AI into the healthcare industry.
Thank you very much, sir. Before proceeding for vote of thanks, I request all the participants to switch on their videos. If there are any questions, they are welcome to unmute and ask Ajay Gadicha, sir.
Sure, sure. I can help them to with their own questions.
So
I
I
hope
hope
that
that there are
I
no
hope that
questions.
everyone is
There are no
I hope that
questions.
everyone is enjoying the session. Probably live. If not, you can send me in details. I can give you the core idea about the same if you have any questions.
Now I request Dr. T. Anuradha Madam to propose vote of thanks. Before going for vote of thanks, really I am thankful to Gadicha sir for accepting my invitation
Thank you,
and
sir, for your valuable
uh,
time. Thanks a lot.
thanks and at short notice and delivering this session,
you.
sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Now I request
A
Dr.
very good
T.
evening.
Anuradha Madam to propose vote of.
A good evening to all. On behalf of all participants, it's my privilege to extend a heartfelt thank you to our esteemed resource person, Dr. Ajay B. Gadicha, for delivering an insightful and enriching session on the topic Generative AI in Healthcare Applications. Dr. Gadicha's expertise, in-depth knowledge for the invaluable session you conducted on generative adversarial networks, variational autoencoders, transformer language models, and the applications of generative AI in healthcare. The future of generative AI in healthcare have truly illuminated the immense potential of generative AI in transforming healthcare from revolutionizing diagnostics to enhancing patient care. Your ability to present complex concepts in a clear and engaging manner has made this session both analyzing and impactful. The practical examples, innovative ideas, and future perspective shared during the session have undoubtedly inspired us all to explore this cutting edge field further. Your valuable inputs will serve as a strong foundation for us to integrate generative AI into our research and academics. We deeply appreciate the time and effort you took to share your knowledge and experience with us. Once again, thank you, sir, for your valuable contribution to the success of this faculty development program. We look forward to having you with us in future events as well. Thank you all the participants for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank you.
sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Before closing, I request all the participants to fill the attendance sheet. And also, I want to remind them attendance is mandatory. Ensure that you fill all the attendance Google